Alright, let's take a look here. I'm eating my watermelon, so you know it's professional. You know, I technically don't even do replay reviews anymore. I'm just being nice because, you know, that's the type of person I am. But yeah, I will say that, like, Widow on Circuit Royale, there is just a chance that there's nothing that you could have done to win this game. But remember, the goal is not to be like, what could I have done to win this game, but like, what are some habits that I can get out of it? Remember, it's like right now, there's nothing you can do to do that. Like, you're saving your shield. There's nothing you can do. One thing I will say is, like, what are you doing right now is really just like creating a window for your team to get a pick. That's all you're doing. And or leveraging car as much as you can. Your Widow is dead, so there's not a lot you can do there. But you can create a good window for your team to get a pick, and you can create as much space as you can without getting picked yourself. This here is really silly. You should always turn corners, almost without exception, on this situation with shield. Either turn corners with shift or shield. Obviously shift here probably too soon, but you should turn with shield first to absorb whatever burst damage, whether it's a charged right click, like the Zen's doing right now, a shot from the Widow, Genji shurikens, primary fire from Sigma, BAP damage, whatever the case may be. Always turn with shield, and then drop accordingly. So here, turn with shield, generally aim it at either the Widow or the Zen, or if you can get both, like obviously here, you could get both. Yeah, you run the risk of getting rocked, but the thing is if you put your shield up there and you get rocked, the follow-up damage is just going to be really from the Sigma. So you don't really need to be worried about the follow-up damage at all in that situation. So you're not actually concerned about accretion. Accretion's only dangerous when you're A, either low, or B, there's follow-up from the Zenyatta or Widowmaker. So right there, first off, needed to, I like you, just wait. But turn shield there. Don't be surprised. Don't look at the Sigma first. And then also, if you're gonna use shield, get some space out of it, mate, right? Like you gotta like push this cart, like even if it's just a meter further up, like you gotta get some space and some damage out of it. You actually put shield and then back off, which means that you're wasting the time where you actually had invulnerability to those squishies. Also, then using that shift for greed afterwards is really silly as well. I think that was mostly for the Yari, but at that point, like, now you're kind of screwed. Because now, like, if you get accretion, you might actually be in trouble. Nice rock. Like, right now, this would all feel so much better if you just had your shift. Like, you just don't have your shift, so you can't, like, actually take the space. So, like, if you want to go to an aggro angle here, again, I don't mind the aggro angle, but you have to have your shift for that to actually work. Otherwise, you're losing the space. That's pretty much all it is. Because like you're too fragile to be that aggressive, basically. Turn shield, turn shift with shield. Shield! You see? Look at your HP. Look at your HP. You just lose 300 HP instantly. Bam! Right there. And so now you back off. Now your shield's broken. And so you can't actually turn. You could have shielded, let the shield get low, drop shield, then you can actually go play patty cake with the Sigma, right? Or at least rotate to the next left corner, and then you have your shift, and then you can play from there. Also, little minor thing here, but Boot, you are within primary fire range here, at least on the splash on Genji. So there's like some times where I think you could be shooting. So I think maybe it's a little bit of a tilt, but like opportunities there to shoot. I like the rotation here. I like the rotation. Keep rotating. You need to be a little bit faster, that rotation. Don't go back. Don't go back. Don't go back. Yeah, this rotation is crucial. It's good. Shield and then shoot the Genji. That was odd there. Like you need to shield the follow-up, but then you need to actually turn on the Genji, considering they're outside of your range. And then here, drop shield here. And I'd probably, honestly, I would probably wait just a little bit till I get a little bit further in my shield. It's fine. And then when you're turning on trades here, even if you have an advantage HP-wise, you're like, oh, I'm knocking the Sigma around, you're actually losing HP because you're peeking into a Zenyatta with your backline not pushing with you. Part of that's on your backline's problem, but your backline needs space onto their backline. So this is where I think like it's important for you to either have some form of shield, or you need some sort of pressure onto the Zenyatta Baptiste, because the Zen's standing right behind Sigma and he's totally egoing you. So that's a bit of a target priority focus change there, I think. Good. he gets way too egotistical. And again, like, he just focuses you, so your backline just straight up kills him. Like, remember, you have to be so attentive to, like, focusing Sigma, because there's nothing else to focus, and then, like, as quickly as you can, pivoting. Drop it. Yeah, I was gonna say don't bother. I mean, you can't do this. I know you're greeting for... I guess it's harder because you're greeting for the cap, you know? So I understand. But, like, if you don't get the cap, you've just blown both your shield, your accretion, and your shift for nothing. And now you're dead. So, yeah, there's, like, not a lot you can do there. I don't necessarily blame you going for it because it was close, but, you know, if you don't get it, you now have nothing to live the trance. You have nothing to live to rock the flux. You have no shield. You have nothing. Same thing here. So you're going to turn. Okay, check team's positioning, turn the shield. A little slow in the turn. Like there was a window there where they could have shot you. And then I think a little bit slow in dropping the shield, right? Like you could have taken some damage there. Like look at your HP. So you got to manage it, right? So shield sooner. Then drop shield now, like around 200, 300. And then if you want to shift, you're allowed to shift that. Nothing you could do there. Rock was a good try. You just whiffed. Shift for ego is probably okay. Be careful about letting your shield break there though, because that will see that's the one thing though, is if your shield breaks here, now they can actually follow up off of the blade, where instead this shield would have cut off the follow-up. And that might have meant that your team would have at least been in a position to live that. Like, because he was super low. So like you could see, like, even though you're like, oh, like this, like we're just backing off, it's fine. But because you're like kind of flippant with your resources here, like even your accretion here, like, well, actually, it gets the accretion we already talked about, but like your, you know, your shift, your shield, whatever, it means that you're not really in a position to punish them for pushing stagger. So when you're down one, just because you feel safe doesn't mean that you are safe, because they can then push this with the ult there, and then now you're not going to even get a good touch. Like this is going to be super messy. And then obviously the panic touch, and then yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. So big thing there is turn with a shield early. Be careful about wasting, like you gotta look at everything like a resource trade. Like every single shift, every single rock has to accomplish something, or at least have a purpose in mind, and then keep an eye on the target party. Little things, but that's what matters with this stuff.